Hey guys, welcome back. I'm a minute late, but it's okay. Sorry for that. Back online Wednesday at 9 o'clock Spain time. Let me check. They had a few emails with questions, so I can answer those first, and then from there on we can go and see what questions you guys have. Also, I've had a few on Instagram. Let me see. So we have here Spain. Spain writes me an email every week. So if you guys want to question anything or you got doubts like Spain has, feel free. I mean, I'll try my best to answer. Let's see. My computer won't work when I'm live. Let's see. I can't find this. Spain wrote me a questions, but I can't find them. Let me see. He had the questions from today, but there was a previous email I must have missed. Okay, well, I'm going to start with his questions. He says, there was an email a few weeks back ago with questions that I don't think got answered. Something about emptying big trays and how to get liquid back into the bottles when the trays has a gallon of liquid in it. If you're doing big trays, I've seen people that what they do is they build big trays out of wood and maybe put just plastic, like cheap plastic trash bags and stuff like that to develop kind of like a few series or whatever. And what some people do is they put a drain, like a sink drain, and under that they'll put like a piece of hose and a little like a tap so you can open it and close it. So what you do is you basically will develop your sheet, your film, your paper on those big sheets with a gallon of chemistry or 5 gallons of chemistry, whatever you need. And then when you're done, you go under the table, you open that little hose and you empty it onto whatever container you have. So that's how you do it. If you're using big trays and they're portable, you're gonna have to just kind of sort of figure it out to throw it into a bucket or into bottles using a funnel. And some people also use the semicircles for like what you have on the buildings to collect the water. They'll use those to roll paper one way and roll paper the other way when they're doing real big prints. And that's the same thing. They end up attaching a little like tap, like a little funnel and a little hose, and just open and close that to empty it. So that's how you would drain that kind of big prints. So that's how it goes. Also, he asked me, have you tried developing E6 at home? I've done E6 many times at home, always with a Jobo. So I can't say any tricks to not use a Jobo. I use the Jobo, which keeps the temperature constantly at 38, 39 degrees, whatever you need. And it's very easy to do E6, so I have done it. Can you talk your huge panoramic wide looks camera? I saw an old video where you talk about different cameras. That big one was a beast. I have it here. I'll show it a little later. We have like a little slowdown, and you guys can see it. It's almost one of a kind. And then he asked me, last question, what kind of YouTube videos do you watch yourself? Reviews, podcasts, etc. Honestly, at this time, I don't have a lot of time for YouTube. I watch a little bit. I watch a lot of reviews from other subjects like tech stuff because I really like how they do them and I try to get ideas, even though my videos are never as good as that. But I am constantly trying to learn. I'm trying to do a new series of videos that I will start posting hopefully in a few weeks. And for that, I check other video people showing how to do it. I'm really bad at videoing. So I'm trying to learn my best about how to edit video, edit sound, edit color for video, lighting. As you can see, I have 2 LEDs here, which are just flashing me so you guys can see me. So that's what I do. Podcast, I listen to the FPP. I listen to Matt Day sometimes when I have the time. I listen to one that George from Negative Feedback recommended, which I would have to look. Let me just check that out while I go back to the live stream, and I'll let you know. Let's see. I have this app because I don't have an iPhone because I'm not a big fan of them. So now I have, no thanks. Let me see. I have podcasts that I listen to. The Halftone, which is amazing. Matt Day with a Shoot, which is interesting sometimes. Sometimes I get, like, I hang off of it because it's either not interesting or I'm busy. The Artful Camera had a good one, and Film Photography Podcast. Those are the ones I listen to. But yeah, that's what I sometimes do. So back to the live chat. Pedro Cardoso, hi. Few more minutes and I'll be right back. Well, I'll see you now, Pedro. Nice to see you here. Joff says, I know you use Jobo tanks, but do they have any experience with stainless tanks? I have one with rubber plastic lid that works great, but my smaller one has a metal and it's constantly getting stuck. Thinking of sanding and oiling it maybe. What gets stuck, Joff? I've never used metal tanks. I do use Jobo, like you said, but I have a friend that uses metal all the time. I don't know what you mean by get stuck. You mean the lid gets stuck, probably. I would say if it's getting stuck, try to see if you can either sand it or I wouldn't put oil into a tank that's going to take chemistry because it might affect your negatives. So I would keep it to either trying to see if you can slowly with a little hammer against some wood, maybe bang it and make the lid instead of so closed a little more open. But that has the problem that you might warp it in a way that it won't work again. But if you want to check, the best tanks that I've seen are Hiwis, or I don't know how you pronounce that. Hiwis. It's Hewes. Yeah, when I go live, my internet crashes. Kiwi reels. I know they do reels. I don't know if they do tanks. Let me see. Their website is awesome. Has a web counter like those 1.0 websites. Stainless steel spires, loaders, hangers. No, they don't have anything like that. No tanks. But just in case you guys want, I'll leave the link here. And someone asked me, where would the links live after this? I usually go to bed straight after the live show. So the next day, I grab the links and put them on the description. So give me a little time to do that. So it's all up and running probably next day. But yeah, the lid, that's what I would do. I would try to see if you can slowly bang it and make it a little less closed. And that way it just maybe works better for you. Oh, my eyes are so crying. Ignacio, hi Ignacio. Have you ever made bellows for large format? I've never made bellows for large format. I have seen a lot of websites that make them. I know that a lot of people achieve them properly. Intrepid is actually making bellows themselves all the time. And I don't think it's impossible. I know that each bellows you make will be worse than the next one and better than the previous. So I would say start with something small and simple and then start growing. Then it depends if you want to do it square, rectangle. Then there's these bellows that have like a smaller than wider than smaller. It has a name, but I can't remember. But no, I've never made bellows. There's a lot of information online on that. There's actually a website that's all about making your own cameras. Camera builders, large format. Let me see if I find that. Building, I don't know. There was a website with a bunch of this. No, this is not it. I've seen it. I just can't remember. Maybe here. Let me see. Yeah, this is the link. Ignacio, I'm gonna post it here so you can check it out. There's a bunch of information there. I'll leave that and I'll put it in the description later. I want to make a 13 by 18. Ignacio, that's a great idea. Just remember, just go slowly. Start with paper, only paper, and start making your bellows, and then move to cardboard or something like that. Then try to do plastic or some material that won't reflect. One of the things you don't want on the inside of your bellows is nothing that's white and nothing that's reflective. So try to use some kind of cloth, dark cloth. Also nothing that will produce dust or hair, like little hairs. Like don't use velvet or anything like that that looks very matte, but will unstick and will end up on your film, on your favorite shot. Robert, nice to see you here. Happy to hear about your camera. If you guys haven't heard on the news, Robert Ham is making a camera called the box camera. It's a modular camera, and it's called I think it's Ham Cameras. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robert. But yeah, here it is. I linked it already on the news, but I think this is really interesting. It's basically a box camera like a Brownie, but it's modular. So you can probably change the back. They're talking about instant film, which would be awesome to have like a little simple, like the, what was it called? The Lollipop or Lolly Flash, some little camera that came, Jolly Pod. Kind of like that, very simple mechanism probably to shoot Instax film, which reminds me Polaroid is about to announce whatever they're coming out with. I want to make a video about the importance of Polaroid and their branding, because I think it's going to be very interesting. 4 hours. So if I close that, no, there's no information yet. Polaroid, blah, blah, blah. No, but I'll make a video on the importance of Polaroid and whatever they're going to announce, because I think it's going to be important from now on. But I think it's very important for everyone to see Polaroid back in the game, even if it's rebranded Impossible Film. But yeah, I have no news on the Impossible Polaroid. I do have, like everyone I think has seen already, pictures that have leaked of them with new Polaroid film. And I'm going new like this because it's probably rebranded Impossible. And there's rebranded Impossible Black and White, Impossible Color, and there's a new kind of 600 style Polaroid camera made by Impossible probably. But I think it's interesting. The moment it's alive, I'll probably make the video maybe tomorrow or Friday and see if I can post it and tell you guys what's my opinion of important, even if it's just the rebrand and why it's important. Thorpe Lyons says, I recently found a seller on eBay who is selling freshly made dry glass plates. The seller is based in Russia. Do you know of any current manufacturers of fresh glass plates? Thorpe, I've seen, let me see, I have too many tabs open. I've seen, I wonder if I could share tabs on these chats with you guys. That would be awesome. I have to investigate. Marco Direct had some glass plates. They were dry glass plates, like we said. And I think they were made by Adox or maybe Agfa. They were old stuff. But I do know there's a few people trying to make them again. We had, what was their name? The people making Galaxy paper, the positive paper that never happened. I think, well, it did happen, but it's been not easy. Glass plate films. So you go to Macro Direct Film, and there's glass plate films. And you have Agfa APX 100 glass plates, expired date 09/17. Let me link this to you guys. This is probably old stuff. And they're 65 by 90 by 1.5. So they're 6 by 9. Let me click it here for you. That's all I can find right now worldwide for glass plates, except for, I guess, that seller in Russia. There's a few people in Russia doing stuff, and if you mention that now, let me see if I find film glass plates. See if that works. Probably going to show me all kinds of things that are not important. Yeah, I don't find anything like that. Thorpe, if you can tell me what to write on eBay to see it, I'll be very interested in seeing new manufacturing of, oh, here, fresh stock, 9x12 dry glass plates. That's pretty cool. I can't say much about the naming. It's all in Russian. Hi, Hal. Nice to see you here. Let me see. Yeah. 9x12. There's, doesn't say how many in here. 9x12 made in Russia, 2015 on a Russian plant in blah, 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 blah. The one that makes factory Slavic and Galaxy papers. This is fresh stock for your plate cameras like patent Etui, Voigtlinger Avas, blah, blah, blah. Rated at 200, develops normal on D76. 6 plates in a box. And they're 9x12. So cool. Don't know about that. I wonder if they can make more. Thorpe says, perfect, thanks. Try to track down the Galaxy Plus plate project, but I think it died. Surreal boy, hi, nice to see you. The Galaxy paper Kickstarter, they never made the money for their Galaxy plates. So here it is, dry plates for large format. And they never reached the money. They say pre-order now, or maybe they made the money. Let me see. Oh yeah, they did make the money for the dry plates. I wonder if they shipped. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Here is, oh yeah, 4 hours and 45 minutes for Polaroid to announce that they made Impossible, a new box for the Impossible film. 8 shots, black and white and color. I just hope they make a new emulsion, that there's like a version 4.0, whatever there is, that's gonna be better than the previous. So now it says I can pre-order. So I'm gonna see if I can pre-order. There's been a few updates. The last thing I see here on August 21st, no news. Hey Galaxy folks, any news, even bad news would be good news. Let us know what is going on. So I'm guessing nothing happened. So they made the money and they never did it. So that's pretty sad. That's something that's pretty sad about Kickstarter, is that you're basically investing on something that might not work. And these people made $15,000 and never got to make the products, or maybe never to ship them. Thorpe says, if you search eBay for photographic dry plates 4x5, gelatin process, large format, glass 6 pieces, you'll find the eBay seller. So yeah, I did find it, Thorpe. So I'm guessing it's this guy. Let me tell you the name of the guy, so you can tell me if it's the right one. Let's see. It's a funny thing that they say on the eBay sale that it comes from the Slavic Galaxy plant, but the Galaxy people never shipped the rewards. So I guess they made some tests and never delivered. And they went to Indiegogo to keep on selling them. Interesting. So you can right now buy this, March 2017. So let's see. I'm going to try to buy it. This is something I not understand, how you can have an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter together and keep on purchasing. Okay, Surreal. So you say, where do you guys get your expired film? I bought most of my stock from expired film on eBay, on photography clubs. You can maybe ask if you have any local darkrooms or local photography clubs. They might have film that they used to buy in bulk for the association or whatever, and they might have a fridge full of it. That's how I've gotten a few cans for free before. I've found that sometimes the local police have a stock of film and film cameras. I actually know of the police here in Spain have a whole warehouse full of CNR cameras and Bronica 645 Mamiya gear they use for air surveillance and stuff like that. So you never know who you knock and who might have it. I would start like that. Start calling associations and clubs, camera clubs, and asking them for a list of the members. Be like, I'm into film. I want to see if there's any gear. Like, I want to buy old cameras. And I've known people that bought like either a lot of expired film like that or a lot of cheap gear like that. Castmate, hi Nico, I just bought a GW673, but I feel like when I move the thumb level forward, it takes about a second to slowly come back when I let go. Does that happen to your GW680? Castmate, it does. I think it's something to do with the gears being a little greasy. I would say take it to a CLA to get it like clean, lubed, adjusted. I'm gonna take mine. My GW, the focusing ring, is a little stiff, too much for my liking. I don't like super wobbly and loose focusing rings, but I also don't like too stiff ones. And this one does have a stiff focusing, and then when I advance and I let go, it won't immediately go back. It will like slowly go back. I kind of have to help it come back. So I still haven't developed anything from the 680, so I don't know if there's any other issues with the camera, but I hope it's not. I bought it cheap enough to not be a problem to put a CLA and pay $100 on it to get it fixed. Pedro says, pull apart film would be nice. It would be extremely nice, but I would be mind blown if they came out with pack film. First of all, Impossible doesn't offer any pack film cameras. Polaroid currently doesn't send or ship or sell any peel apart cameras. And the machinery was trashed by Polaroid. That's why Impossible has never been able to do it. And Fuji is not giving them any machinery. There's like a 1% chance that they're gonna come out with peel apart. We all want to. I'm not saying I'm not, but being, you know, having my head on my shoulders says, no, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be, they're gonna continue with the line that they're selling, the Spectra film, the 600 film, the SX70 film, and they're gonna probably try to improve the brand. I mean the quality down here in Europe, and they also, I just saw Freestyle lower the price of Impossible film from $24 to $21. So that's, I think, what's gonna be happening. Sorry to say that, but I think it's what's gonna happen. But we have 4 hours. Travis says, I don't mind the Impossible black and white emotion, better than none at all. I'm with you, Travis. I think they've improved a lot. I bought the first batch, and I bought like 6 packs of that Impossible stuff. And it was terrible film. I mean, terrible, terrible. I actually want to make a video because it still shoots. But Doc Flooring Cap says that if you would have known it was that hard, he would have never gotten into it. And I very much believe him. But the black and white stuff looks pretty okay. House says, Impossible instant films are fine, I guess, but the price is still too high. The price is high. I never thought they would be, you know, like cheap. Polaroid film was not cheap. When I had a Polaroid film, when Polaroid was still around, I could buy a pack like maybe on my birthday, a pack on Christmas, and maybe if I save some money, buy a pack. So this, I'm talking when I was 17, 18, 19, and I think it's still kind of priced the same way. Like, you can't shoot instant film. When the pack film was $8 on B&H, no one was really buying enough, I guess, that they discontinued it. And now that it's 24 bucks on B&H, people are going crazy and buying cases of it because they said they're going to discontinue it. And we're talking 3 times the price. So it's interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the pricing and whatnot. Castmate says, thanks, Nico. Very handy to know. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be slow or what. I just checked, as I told you, check camera clubs and stuff like that. Awesome cameras. Nice to see you here. I actually like the black and white more than the color. I think the black and white renders better. I bought some Impossible 8x10 and shot some color, and it's kind of like, it's not perfect in any way, but I think black and white will hide those imperfections better, as black and white does. I mean, you buy some color film that's expired and the colors go wonky and it's going to be bad. But if you buy black and white and it's expired, you're going to get more grain, more contrast, but that's going to be fine on your shots. Castmate says Freestyle also has I-type film on sale for $18 now, which is what the photo that FNAC posted earlier showed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Azrael, nice to see you here. Yeah, the disposable cameras. Awesome Cameras has another YouTube channel that's real fun and a podcast. You guys should see, he made a Super 8 casing with like some tubing and stuff to put a Super 8 in the water, which was cool. Must have been nice to shoot your old neighborhood. Sucks the park grew over. I'm guessing you guys are talking about the video. I haven't watched that video yet. But yeah, we'll see what the Polaroid announcement is. I think it's that. It's going to be a new camera under a Polaroid name, kind of like the i1, and it's going to be just rebranded Impossible for now. I think it's very complicated. If they're going to really come out with Impossible product under Polaroid, and those people that don't know about Impossible are going to buy that Polaroid product, and it's not up to quality, it's going to be very sad, and I think it's going to go down very fast. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the announcement is. I'll be sleeping, so no idea what that's going to be all about. Step 1, step 2 is what the leaks are saying. Yeah, I have a picture of what the leaks say. I mean, and it looks like a 1-step 600 kind of camera. So we'll see. I'm very interested on seeing. Thorpe says, in your experience, is it true that a lens with fungus can infect other lenses nearby? I've never had any like contamination, but I have had one lens on my enlarger that had a little bit of fungus, so I put it on the sun. You know, UV light will kill it, but won't erase it. So that's an important thing. The moment you get a lens with fungus, you put it on the sun, or you get like a light, not LEDs, because LEDs don't usually have UV light, or not enough. And you put it under, you kill that fungus, and then there you can clean it or not clean it, depends on what you like. But yeah, I would say if those fungus works in spores, I mean the little spores in the air that you can breathe them in, they go to other plants or whatever it does, and new mushrooms, new fungus grows. So I would believe that if you have a box with a lens full of fungus and you have another lens that doesn't, it could cross-contaminate. Also, probably that means if you have humidity and one lens got it, you're probably going to have it on the next lens. So I can't say it happens, and maybe I'll try to get an experiment and buy a lens with a lot of fungus and a lens without fungus, put them together in a dark box and wait for like a few months and see. But so far, no, I don't know if that happens. Awesome Cameras, the same thing. The general population is going to hate the Impossible film. It's very true. Hopefully there'll be a new generation that forgot how Polaroid was, considering it's been away for 8 years, and that forgot that it took like 45 seconds to see the image and not 45 minutes, even though I know it's shorter now. But yeah, it's going to be a very picky subject if that comes out like that. Azrael says, I'm not big a fan of IP film. Might as well shoot expired C41 for those kind of results. I'm not a fan of the quality. I have to say Instax is killing it. I mean, the results are amazing and the pricing is very good. It's like $1 a shot. That's another thing. Instax film, it's like $1 a shot, whatever format you're shooting. So I rather shoot bigger for $1, then small. But that's up to you guys. And Impossible, I've got nothing against what they're doing. They're trying their best, and I know they're not trying to make bad products, but they're trying to make good products. It's not like Lomography that doesn't mind having wonky colors and to sell you the rad effects as a benefit more than as a fault. But I do know that it still is not good enough, and it's not cheap. So we'll see how that goes. Awesome Camera says, I bought a UV flashlight on Amazon. It worked pretty well. So yeah, there you go. You can buy a UV flashlight on Amazon, and they probably do UV flashlights for, like, you know, how do you say, counterfeit bills, like fake bills, so you can check if they're the proper ones. But I'm not sure. And then you can kill that fungus and then move on. Like, I've got lenses that probably, no, this one doesn't have any fungus. But this lens is a Pentax M51.4. And this lens had been sitting in the dust for years because this was a camera that wasn't mine. And it was so dirty, it took me like 3 or 4 wipies with the little liquid they sell at camera stores to clean the front. And it's perfect. It has a real nice glow, that kind of Pentax glow that everyone likes. Let's see. Castmate, any tips on cheaply improving a lens with a huge amount of dust inside other than a CLA? Castmate, the only cheaply way to reduce the dust inside is shoot wide open so the dust doesn't get really projected onto your lens, even though you will have kind of like a haze, and opening the lens yourself. Most lenses are not that hard to open. I've opened a few, and with the right tools, they sell these like rubber things that you put on the lens and then you unscrew and you can clean it. I've cleaned some modern lenses actually because a friend of mine had a filter stuck on his camera and I had to saw it down, and the lens was so bad on the kit pack that the dust of the aluminum went into the lens and I had to undo it. It was so easy. So try it out. Thorpe says, awesome, I will try the UV flashlight. And Azrael says he loves Instax. I love Instax. I bought 100 shots a few years ago. Still have a pack that I loaded on my Instax 210 the other day. Vladimir says, Nico, I had a problem with slide film. I decided to shoot on Velvia 120, and after I shot 12 frames and started to get the film out of the rollie, it crumbled, and it's like that. And it is likely that it was lit up. And after I shot 12 frames and started to get the film out of my raw fix, it crumbled, and it never happens with my negative film. Okay, so you're saying that when you finish shooting, it crumbled. I would say that it's probably going to be a one kind of thing. I mean, I've had that happen to one camera one time, and it's because somehow I hadn't like tensioned the roll. And when I started advancing the film, it kind of buckled, and that kind of made the roll kind of squishy. And I still developed it, and I only lost like a little bit of a few shots. So I wouldn't make it assume that the roll is the one that was wrong. I would try another one, get another roll. I know Velvia 120 is not cheap, and try to shoot it again. And if not, try with negative film and see if it happens. But I wouldn't say it's the slide film that is different. Slide film and negative film are basically the same thing, same thickness, just same properties of bending and going through your rollers, so it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, just check it out, see. Sorry, I did find that even though my roll of 120 was super baggy, and I rolled it as fast as I could in the dark, even though the dark was under my t-shirt, I barely lost any frames. So, I mean, don't make a roll squishy. Yeah, just, you know, the 120 has to be nice and tight. I actually have that paranoia, and every time I unload 120, I turn it 2 or 3 times on its own so it will get more like tighter. And then I fold the little thing and I lick the thing and put it on the sticker and put the sticker on. And I'm always have doubts. And for example, my Kodak never has light leaks on the corners. My Ilford always has a little bit of light leaks, but it never affects the frame, only like the numbers. And Fuji, I've never had an issue with light leaks, except for that Velvia 50. I actually made a video with that roll, and it's the Fuji GA645W. And the few shots have a little light leak, but very small. And that the roll was totally almost like not properly wound. And I thought it was ruined, but I still took it because I had made a whole video with that camera that day. But yeah, it's not easy. Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's the whole fun of film, I guess. Like when you put your memory card on your computer and suddenly there's nothing there. I guess we all have our little accidents when we shoot or we develop. That's something that I've been seeing and I've been thinking about, like what would happen. And Azrael made a video on constant agitation and if it affects your film, your grain, contrast, and whatnot. And I think it's very fun to see things done not always the right way, to find what would go wrong or what could go wrong and how to solve it. So yeah, you guys, I mean, let me know if you have any other issues and we can find it out, how to fix it or how to reproduce that problem. Any other questions, guys? It's 9:37. I put always glue tape in the 120 film end. That's what Pedro says. I don't go so crazy. Some people even put it in aluminum and put it in the fridge and keep it there until they can freshly develop it. I kind of like put my film with the own sticker in my bag and never had a problem. I once had the sticker be kind of loose and I put like one of my kids' rubber hairbands on it and leave it dry, and that was it. Hal says, I was lucky when I bought Kodak Portra, Ektar, and Tri-X, no light leaks through the paper. That is lucky, Hal. There's still issues with Tri-X. That's something I haven't featured on the, no, Tri-X, no, sorry, T-Max. T-Max 100 and 120 is still not available. And it's been, I would say, a year already. I don't know what's happening with Kodak there. 400, 100. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think they've, yep, back ordered. Let me send you guys the link so you see for yourselves. But T-Max 100, 120 film is back ordered, and it's been like that for almost a year, which is very sad. I wonder, I mean, but there has to be the same paper that they've had with other films, and they should work. But yeah, I don't know if there's any reviews talking about the paper. The last review on this, 2016. Very sad. Let's see if it comes. Analog Adventure Spain, almost lost entirely, lost almost the entire show. Oh well, thank God for replays. Yeah, Spain, I haven't answered yet about the super panoramic camera. I assume T-Max sold so badly that they weren't bothered to make it, using their machines for Tri-X instead. I don't think that should be. Vladimir, I would develop it. You never know. You might get 5 shots, you might get 6 shots, but you almost will make it. Azrael says, Ektachrome is just around the corner. Any thoughts? I never featured it on the news because it came out just after the news. And Ektachrome, they've announced that they're going to come. There's going to be a few rolls, I guess, around the end of this year, and there's going to be stock during 2018. I already had said that it would probably come out December 31st, which would be the last quarter of the year. And I guess that's what's going to happen. Any thoughts? I just hope they make it right, Azrael. I'm really excited to see a different slide. I'm really excited to see the pricing, considering that Fuji does whatever it wants because it's the only player right now. And I wonder if Fuji will react to it. I mean, the more there is, the better for us in terms of choices. You can pick different films for different subjects. If it renders better for skin or renders better for product or for landscape. And also it maybe will make them make the price a bit more competitive. As we know, Kodak and Fuji have always had the war of pricing in Japan and pricing in the States. And nowadays, it's just a mess because they don't really care so much. Kodak in Japan has outpriced itself so high that people are buying from B&H and sending it to Japan. Mateo says, hey Nico, greetings from Colombia. Hey, greetings from Spain. I've been offered a Mamiya RB67 with a 120 back waist level finder 90 lens. Only problem is that the lens has a ridiculous amount of fungus, but it's really cheap. Everything else seems to be working fine. Would you recommend buying it? Mateo, if it's ridiculously cheap, I would buy it, put the lens on the side in the sun, see if you can get something out of it. You can probably fix it yourself or try to remove the fungus as much as you can. I would clean the body and put it in rice for at least a week, just in case there's humidity inside the body. Good thing is the Mamiya RB is mechanical, so no electronics to corrode or be, you know, how do you say, ruined. And try to get another lens. I mean, Mamiya RB67 lenses are very cheap, cheaper than the RZ. You've got the 90 and the 127, which are usually the normal for the Mamiya RB that you can buy for very little money. But meanwhile, you can try to see if you can fix that 90. But yeah, RB lenses are probably the cheapest, almost the cheapest medium format lenses out there, which I'm sure, depending on your budget, might not be that cheap. But still, it's considering the body and everything else is very cheap. Also, try to pull the price down. I mean, if you're buying something that you know is going to give you a lot of trouble, like $120 US cheap. Mateo, it depends on your budget. For $120, would I buy a body with everything else? I'll give you a perspective. I bought a Mamiya RZ this summer. That was $182, just the body. Only focusing glass and or screen and body. There was no lens, no back, no prism or waist level finder, and I bought it. And that was $182. I mean, for $120, the whole thing, you can probably get a lens for like 80 bucks. And it's a great price. So I think, oh no, digital cameras, no. Sorry, I was KEH at the same time seeing what the price of lenses could be. My internet is so slow while I'm connected with you guys. Lenses, medium format. Let's see what the price is. But yeah, 120 bucks, like Pedro says, is a great price. I would seriously consider buying it. Use medium format lenses. There's one lens. Okay, why is there only one lens? Yeah. KEH has made their website the most horrible navigation ever. If you guys were around when they had the old site, you know what was good. This is so bad. It's slow. Use medium format lenses. Please tell me there's more than one. Okay, 172. Now let me go to brand name, Mamiya. But yeah, navigation is terrible. KEH, if you ever watch any of my videos, please make your website better. And not better new, but better, just better. The old one was so good. Okay, apply filters. Sorry that I'm just trying to navigate through this terrible website. They have great prices, they have great gear, they just have a terrible website. Okay, so they don't have a lot of RB lenses, and they're not that cheap at this very moment. 90 for the RZ, RB. Okay, the cheapest lens is 168 for a 50, 133 for a 65. So they're not as cheap as they used. Oh, you have a 65 here for 109. That's not bad. Okay, so $100 for a lens. You can probably find something like that. But I would buy it, and I would try to clean that lens. Just try to see if someone in Colombia can fix it for you. So yeah, someone was asking me. Oh, interesting. Found a charger there. Svein was asking me about this camera, which I'm going to show you guys because we have 15 minutes, and this is going to probably be a little bit of a chat. Let me see if I can see myself. So this you see here is panoramic with a rotating lens. As you can see, it's the Horizon 205, and it's the PC. What does PC mean? It means this little wheel on the bottom, you screw it one way and the lens goes up, and you screw it one way and the lens goes down. So there has like a perspective control. And this is a 6x12. It's made in Russia, and there was 24 of these cameras made. That's what I heard. What can I tell you about it? It's heavy, it's huge. It is a 120 panoramic camera. How it is fun. I have to say, I've shot one roll and it was real fun. I actually printed a picture. I'll see if I can find it and post it on a video. I still have to test it out more. The little screws that hold on to this little PC thing came off, and I have to fix it. They have I have the screws, I have the little part that will go up and down. But yeah, it's a 120 camera. Let me see. It might be loaded and I'll hate myself for it, but no, it's unloaded. So yeah, here you go, guys. That's the back. It's kind of a wide looks, just on steroids. You see, it has a roller. Here's where your roll will go. Goes all through the back onto the next roller that would be here. And when you shoot, it does that whole spin. And it's a rare camera. This was loaned to me by a friend, and I've had it for like a year, maybe a little bit more. And he knows it's in good hands. I have it in its own case here, safe for any emergency or whatever could be. But yeah, this is the Polaroid. It has a viewfinder with a bubble on it, made in Russia, so Russian heavy camera. And yeah, not much else to it. It has a few speeds. It has 1 second, an eighth, a 60th, a half, a fourth, and a 30th. It is bigger than a 6x17 camera, that's for sure. And it's taller. I mean, just so you see, this is, sorry for the phone part, but this is Samsung whatever plus, and it's a 5.5 inch, and that's how tall the camera is without the viewfinder. So the viewfinder is huge. You can't take it off. It doesn't have any correction for perspective, so if you're moving the lens up or down, it won't move in here. At least not that I know of. Maybe it does. This has been disengaged since I got it, so it doesn't really work, and I can't tell you guys. But yeah, that's basically the panoramic camera Svein was asking about. It was in a video where I talked about different formats, and I had a bunch of gear on the table and talked about all different cameras and all of that at the beginning of this YouTube channel, which when videos were really sketchy. Now they're just sketchy, not really sketchy. But yeah, and Pedro was saying, check the leaf shutter for the Mamiya lens. Yeah, do check the shutter. On the Mamiya RB, the shutter's on the lens, and when you shoot, because the RZ has the electronic shutter, you can shoot RB lenses on the RZ, but not the other way around. So, Mateo, you can't buy RZ for your RB. I guess it will mount, but it won't work. Mateo says, Pedro, the leaf shutter is working on all speeds besides T. I would go for it. For $120, an RB 6.7 is a good buy. And if the lens doesn't work for you, or you can't clean the fungus, see if you can end up finding one. It's not a bad buy at $120. I don't know what the price of gear could be in Colombia, because I know how Spain is, but I don't know how that would be. How says, how did you buy your enlarger? The shipping fee on eBay is too high, sometimes even higher than the enlarger itself. Well, enlargers are really hard to buy. I always find local deals. I've been lucky. I do live in Spain. It's a small country. From where I live, which I live on the top of it, and all the way to the south, it's like a 10-hour drive. So it's not crazy if you need to go all the way south. For my 4x5, I had to drive all the way to Granada, which is where La Alhambra is. If you guys have ever heard of it, it's where the Arabs came into Spain, conquered Spain for years, and they built that. And that was like an 8-hour drive. And from there, I went to an 8x10, and that was given to me from a friend in Toledo, in Spain. And I packed it in my car. I've never had to ship an enlarger. I've only shipped my 4x5 when I sold it, and I work with wood, so I shipped it in a truck that I loaded to Barcelona, and it went there. So I've never shipped it. But if you want to get an enlarger, like in England, there's secondhand darkroom that are specialized on shipping enlargers, and they do a great job for a fairly reasonable amount. And in the States, it's not so. I guess you guys have to go for Craigslist and find something local, maybe forums and asking, and you'll find something like that. So that's how I've gotten my enlargers. And I know everyone else around me that has bought a 4x5, 5x7, or 8x10 has bought it in Spain and shipped it internal, which is not that bad, but it is expensive. Adam says, what's a good starting point for 120 panoramic cameras, Nico? Basically, the best, cheapest one. Okay. The best or the cheap? Because the best wouldn't be cheap, and the cheap is not the best. So I'll tell you, the best is probably like a Horseman 612 or Linhof 612. The cheapest, like Stuart said, Analog Adventure Svein said, Lomo Bel Air 6x12 is probably the cheapest, but not be good enough. I have a photographer friend on Facebook that says the Bel Air gives him a great, and I trust him. He prints in platinum, palladium. He's a very good photographer, large format, and so on. He likes it. So I would say start with that. Start with a Lomo Bel Air. Also, you can buy the Olga 6x12 and convert it to a 90mm lens, large format, and that's extremely cheap. The Olga, if you can find it, it's under $100. And if you buy the lens cheaply, one of those Linhof 90 6.8 angle long lenses is probably around 50 to 100. So for like 150, you can make yourself a 6x12 that would work amazing. Stuart is here. He says RSS 617 pinhole camera is also the cheapest to get started. I have one, also the Shenhao 6x17. Yeah, pinhole would probably be one of the cheapest ways to get into it. I'm not a big fan of pinhole because my results always come out terrible. But I do have to say I've seen some amazing results with pinhole cameras. The Shenhao 6x17, I would say, is probably the best compromise for price and quality. As Stuart can probably tell you, it has all the movements. You can change the lenses, which are large format lenses, which are cheaper than usual, specific lenses. So the Linhof has specific lenses for their mount, and Horseman has specific lenses that are mounted onto their cameras. And those are extremely expensive. So I would say that Shenhao Stuart is the best buy for 6x17. There's a YouTuber that has a 6x17 called Nick. Now I'm going to forget his last name. But you guys just Google Shenhao 617 on YouTube or YouTube it, and you'll find it. And it's an amazing tool. It's like $1,000. I've seen it. And I think for that price, it's one of the best cameras you can get. Also, Photoman. If you want to check it out, Adam, Photoman is pretty good, and sometimes you find good deals on it. Azrael says he bought his bestseller 23 for about $15. That's what I'm telling you. You guys have to just go online and check till you find a cheap camera. Enlarger. Someone might give it out for free. I've seen them in the trash because it's the typical thing that you're like, okay, how do I ship this? Who's gonna buy it? And your family or your mom or whoever is going to be like, get that thing out of the house, and you're just going to put it in the trash in the end. So a lot of enlargers have been dumped, sadly. Adam says, yes, I was thinking outside of the limo box, but may consider it actually to get into it. Wow, you guys wrote a lot and I wasn't reading, sorry. Let me see. I would say the Holga 612, adapting it, a pinhole, like Stuart said, or the Bel Air. Those are the three cheapest. House says, I saw on Craigslist a while ago a whole darkroom set for $200, but I didn't have the money back then. Too bad. Gotta keep looking. How? The best thing for darkroom is being super patient. Like, I've waited and waited and waited years to find how do you say, a heat press, print washer, an 8x10 enlarger, another 8x10 enlarger that I didn't get, but it was offered to me, and I gave it to a friend. Everything I've had has taken years of patience. So don't rush it. You'll find it. And if you rush it, you're just going to have to pay more, like I did with my first 4x5. Thorpe says, I have a Graphics RB6 4x5 with the extension chimney viewfinder. Would love to create some sort of pop-up magnifier for fine focusing like the Rolleiflex. Thorpe, that would be pretty cool to try. I've tried a simple magnifying glass and viewing loop, but they don't work. Any idea what kind of lens magnifier should I be looking for? I have, Thorpe, I have a loop that was made by Ebony, but I never really worked it out how it worked. It was pretty weird to use. But I would say that the distance has to be enough that you can use that loop. So you're going to have to figure out like the focal distance for the specific meniscus lens. And there's some people that sell lenses to make your own cameras online. I would have to research that a bit more than just online right now. But there's probably something you can find and figure out the distance that you need to get that pop-up chimney viewfinder style for your RB. Very jealous of your RB. I've always wanted one. Adam says, nice. I'll take your advice on the Bel Air. I'm excited. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys for helping out. The Bel Air is a good choice. Azrael says, whoa, sorry. What are some YouTube channels you really like right now? Also, what are some of the pet peeves with your pet peeves? What do I follow? Do I really like right now? Photography-wise, negative feedback, I really enjoy it. Very pleasant watching George, Louis, Aslan, all those guys make a great job. I think it's helping a lot on the film, people that are curious and want to watch something that's not so technical or so boring as many of our YouTube videos can be, including myself. I'm very technical, or not so technical, but maybe sometimes I don't go to the point. I like Ben Horn, I do enjoy. I don't watch all of his content because I usually don't have enough time. He does great quality content. I've been following him since he was just started. Matt Day, when he was doing the film stuff, I did follow him a lot. Now, lately, I don't have the time. And I do watch, different videos. I am subscribed to a lot of channels, so I go to whatever they recommend and check it out. But it depends on my mood and my day. I'll watch camera stuff, or maybe I'm saturated and I'll go somewhere else. But I mostly use Facebook and read forums and stuff like that. That's why I got into doing YouTube, because I thought I could help out with what I was watching. Or reading, sorry. Analog Adventure, Tomoyama 6x17 and Fuji 6x17 are good, around $1,000. Those are great cameras. Pedro's laughing about the 15-buck enlarger. And Azriel says, yeah, Pedro, people either overprice it or have no idea what they have. And Kiyotachi says, Nick Carver. Yeah, Nick Carver for the Shenhao camera. So that's what I was mentioning. Nick Carver has good content too. He hasn't been posting for a while, but there's good content out there. I'm telling you, depends on my mood. I'll watch one video or another. Azrael Knight, it's like selling gold at the price of beach sand. And Thorpe says, yo, AZ, thanks for the T-Max preview. Yeah, Azrael, I should watch your channel more. I have watched a few videos and I enjoy it, but it's just a lack of time that doesn't let me watch so much. I'm usually more concentrated on trying to see what I can make instead of watching. I guess I'm more of a content creator than a content viewer. So I do watch when I can, but favorite channels, I would say that I have favorite series of channels. I really enjoyed the Art of Photography with the Artist series. I really enjoy Negative Feedback when he does behind the scenes of like certain different photographers. Maybe some videos I like more than the others. I like the Pentax video he made. And I like what Azrael is doing, as I said before, testing out different ways to compensate for contrast and so other. And I like Ben Horn on certain videos. It's more than a channel. It depends on the video. I'll watch it or not. Not that I don't enjoy everyone, but it's just I have to choose kind of sort of in the mood it goes. But yeah, guys, it's 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna end it here. And yeah, Pedro says, when we make, we don't see. That's so true. I never thought YouTube making videos would take so much time, and I would be so committed to making them. So it's taking a lot of time for my own photography, my own video, watching, family, so many things. But I am enjoying it. But yeah, guys, 10 o'clock. So thanks for joining today and asking all the questions. Love seeing the conversation on the comments between you guys. I wish YouTube would stick them to the video after, but they don't. Whatever link I did talk about, I will post on the description later. Thanks again, and see you next week. I will be making the video on my impression on that Polaroid announcement, whatever it is. But yeah, take care, guys. Thanks, and goodbye. Quick technical question, if you have time. Kiyotachi, ask quickly, and I'll answer quickly. And then I'll go to sleep. Let me see. I'm gonna wait for Kiyotachi's question, and then I'll go to sleep. Let me see. But yeah, as I said, if you have any questions, just write comments on this video or send me a message, email. Svein is very consistent at sending me questions to my email, which really helps me kickstart. And that way I can answer you guys and give a bit more content to the whole hour, which at the beginning was hard to make the hour, but now it's starting to be, I want to stay more, but I gotta sleep. Kiyotachi, okay, I've been using a Polaroid 405 with my Chamonix 4x5 camera. Okay, that should work fine. Let's see what you got to say. The Polaroid 405, if you guys don't know, is the one that uses the FP 100C 3x4 film. And the thing is, it crops a little bit with 100 FP 100C instant film, and was wondering if you have the dimension of the film I expose. Yes, I do, Kiyotachi. Send me an email. My email is on the description on my channel. I think you have to click for something and it'll show it to you. And I will send you a template of, so you can put over your Chamonix camera, so you can have what will be in your frame. It's not the same as 4x5 inch. The 405 will give you around 10 by, no, not 10. Yeah, 10 by 8, or it's on the box. If you check your FP 100C, it'll say, I think it's 8 by 10 frame. It's almost like a 6 by 9. But send me an email, I'll send you the template. Cat Lab, send it to me, and you can print it, cut it out, and put it on your camera to frame properly. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks again, and see you next week. Bye.